Hi, I'm Sonia, and I help people take their power back. And this is my third time today trying to go live. I was going live earlier, and my Wi Fi was just not having it. So I wasn't planning again on going live today. But Jax, all he wants to do with me, he just wants me to sit with him. So if I'm going to sit here and sit with him, I thought, why not go live and see if anybody wants to come hang out? So we'll see if anybody comes and hangs out. And if not, then today was not the day that I was meant to go live. Oh, Jackson, what can we talk about? What should we talk about, Bubba? Here's a topic that a few people have come to me recently with. Can you manifest a celebrity? As I always say, whatever you tell yourself, whatever your answer to that question is going to be your answer. If you don't like it, you can change it through repetition. But the number one thing I see with people who come to me with this question is that they see celebrities as unattainable to them and on a pedestal. They're so amazing, and I'm just so not. I'm so simple and just nobody. Why would they want to be with me? Why would they pay attention to me? Why would we ever meet? When the rule is that whatever you tell yourself is true, your experience is going to be whatever you tell yourself that it is. Celebrities are not the exception to the rule. Nothing is the exception to the rule. You are creating the exceptions to the rule. Whatever you tell yourself is true. That is the law. With everything. Literally everything. Can I tell myself that this is true? Yes. Whether it is actually true doesn't matter. Can I consistently tell myself that that's how shit is? Hi. Hoping that my internet is not doing what it was doing earlier because it kind of kicked me off. So, hi. But yeah, you can definitely manifest celebrities. You can manifest whatever the fuck you want. As long as you can tell yourself that you have it or that you're gonna get it and you don't bitch, whine, moan, and complain and put all these conditions on bullshit. Hi, love catching you live. I love going live. I stopped going live when I was able to go live on TikTok. Yeah, it was a whole thing, but I miss going live. And I tried to go live this morning, and my Wi-Fi said not so much. Get back here! You're the reason I decided to go live because you wanted to sit with me, and that was all that you were having. You would have nothing else, and now you're gonna leave me here alone, sir. Whatever, Jax. So I thought I would come hang out for a little bit and just see if anybody wanted to come hang out. And yeah. I'll make a video about manifesting celebrities at some point, but yeah. You guys have anything you want to talk about? Jackson, get over here. No, come here. Silly goose. Can you discuss about non-duality, please? No. That's not, no. That's not a topic that I don't even know what that is, so no. I'm not a big sciencey person, and I don't care why the law works. I just know that the law works, and I found how it works for me. If you need that kind of shit, you need to go find somebody who enjoys talking about that kind of shit. And that is not me. Hi, Tina. Can you talk about using general affirmations to manifest everything good in your life? Whatever you tell yourself is true. If you go general and instead of bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining, you tell yourself, no, everything's perfect and I love my life or whatever, my go-tos, isn't it wonderful, everything's perfect. So if something happens and my knee-jerk reaction to it is, oh God, why is this happening? I'm such a victim. I'm not going to get what I want. My life's going to shit. I'm going to be proven right. And that's where I would catch myself and shift it to, isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. And I'm putting the focus on, isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. I have to be proven right. You're always right. So if general feels better to you, then go general. What do you think about tarot? And I'll laugh out loud. I think that you need to ask yourself that question. What I believe about tarot is truly none of your business and has no say in your reality. All you're doing is, I can't possibly have the right answer, so I'm going to ask somebody else and base my beliefs off of theirs. You are God, you're the operant power. Tarot is whatever the fuck you think it is. If you believe it predicts the future, you're right. If you believe it's demons, you're right. If you believe you talk to your spirit guides, you're right. If you believe that whatever it tells you is the end all be all, you're right. You are always fucking right. You're welcome, Tina. Today I saw an LOA video and my thought was, why is not happening for me? Then I caught myself and said, what are you even on about? That's not true. Yep. Your entire belief system manifests. Not to get you like hyper vigilant and freaking out about every thought you have, but whatever you keep coming back to and keep catching yourself coming back to, it's not working. It's still not working. Why isn't it working? Oh, I wish I could manifest like that. You're going to be proven right. Always. That is the law. You are always right. And the more you see it, you can't unsee it. And the more you see it, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to continue to tell myself that. Oh, yeah, that has to go. Yeah, of course I'm not getting results because I'm focused on that there aren't results. And it's a perfect manifestation. So maybe if I drop that, I can have a different experience. I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it. It works every time for me perfectly. I always get what I want. I get everything instantly and effortlessly, or I get everything when and how I want it, or I get everything within 3 days, or this is just so easy for me, or I don't care about the time because I know it's done and I get to be happy now. However the fuck you want to look at it, there's no wrong way to look at it. But you can't be bitching, moaning, whining, and complaining about how it doesn't work. Because that's the experience that you're choosing, and you're going to be proven right. So until you drop that, it truly is that simple. I know it sounds like it can't be that simple, but it is. And like I said, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And when you catch yourself thinking things like that, that's the perfect example of, you can correct it to, no, I always get what I want, or you're just like, this is shit, I don't want to become true, so isn't it wonderful, everything's perfect. Going to your general affirmation. If you find that you're policing too much in your head and have to have too many affirmations to keep everything in check, go general. What if they're intrusive thoughts, like opposing thoughts that come up many times, even though I'm not thinking about them on purpose? For me, when it happens, I usually yell no, and it helps a bit, but I'm wondering about them manifesting sometimes. I need you guys in my community to stop using intrusive thoughts. If you are having intrusive thoughts, I have the suicide prevention hotline in my description. Those are intrusive thoughts. Otherwise, you are thinking thoughts. Your brain is always going to think thoughts. That is how your brain works. It is like your heart. Your heart beats, your brain thinks. You are demonizing your brain thinking. And that is not the fucking problem. The problem is that you're scared of what's going to manifest, and you're scared that you have no fucking power, and you're scared that you're not fucking doing it right or enough, which is all being created by you. And the reason it'll manifest is because you're putting all your attention on it and are scared that it's going to manifest, and you're putting all your focus there. When your brain thinks, you go, yeah, no, and you choose to focus on something else. And if those thoughts still play in your head, you still choose to focus on something else. And the more you do it and the more you experience it and the more you see it for what it is, you'll start to see the connection between your present moment and what's happening outside of you. And you'll see the connection between your old belief systems and your past. You'll see it all. It will all connect for you. And you'll truly, fully understand it. But this fucking, my brain thinks it's what it fucking does. Your job is to figure out how to control it. And don't bitch, whine, moan, and complain. Okay, gonna try that. I think it's mostly my ego talking. I would drop that shit too. Who gives a fuck about your ego? You are the one in charge. I'm either gonna keep thinking this or I'm not. And through the repetition, my brain will get the fucking memo. Labeling it ego is just you looking for reasons it's not gonna work and that it doesn't work and that there's something keeping you from having what you want. Oh, my ego's the problem. I have a problem. Yeah, well, your ego's always gonna be the problem. Because you're convinced there's a fucking problem. See, this is what is important. I used to think I gotta restart and all that BS. If I gotta spiral or think negative thoughts. Yeah, I had that phase too. I talked about too, I had the phase of, I call it manifestations at business hours, where I'd be real good in the morning and then come, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, nothing changed. And there was nothing I saw changing. So I would like lose my shit. I was, oh, gotta start over tomorrow. That's not what you're doing. It's not what you're doing. And the more that you are just present and are focused on what am I accepting is true right now, I promise you, you're going to save yourself a lot of fucking heartache. You're not starting over. The only one who's determining that you would be starting over is you. You're doing it to yourself. That is a choice that you are making. Oh, I fucked up. I didn't do it good enough. I didn't do it perfectly. And that's the thing with the robotic affirmations that I didn't understand. And that was part of why I wanted to speak on this as I figured out what people were actually meaning with robotic affirmations. It is not, I perfectly said, I'm happily married, 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 and never thought against it again. That is not the fucking point, and that is not what you're trying to do. And yeah, you're probably going to fail at that. And if that's the perfection you're going for, you don't understand what you're doing. It's, I want to be happily married, so I'm focused on being happily married. And then when I think throughout the day how I'm not happily married, or I can never be happily married, or no one would ever want to marry me, no, I'm happily married, so that's all bullshit. You bring yourself back to the state of having what you want. Your brain is always going to think. If you make your brain the enemy, you're always going to be at war. Your brain is just bringing up to you your beliefs, and then you accept them or reject them by focusing on what you want to be true instead of all the bullshit from the past. If you keep accepting the old bullshit from the past, it's going to continue to create, because that is the law. That is how it works. But it's all being created by you. There's no one outside of you deciding that you're not doing it right, that you're not doing it good enough. There's no teacher like, oh, do it better. You're the one deciding you're not doing it good enough. You're the one deciding you're starting at the beginning. You're the one deciding that you were thinking thoughts and now you can't have what you want. Which all comes back to you telling yourself that you don't have what you want. Which is where, for me, am I bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining, or am I focused on things going in a direction I want them to go? That simple. If things happen outside of me that upset me or piss me off, I redirect my focus, and if they keep coming up, then I ask myself why this bothers me so much. Because there's something underneath that needs to be addressed, and even in just bringing it to my awareness is a lot of times enough to let it the fuck go. Keep thinking. I kept thinking, I've no movement. I've been doing this for a year. Why isn't it happening? I wasn't particularly thinking negatively about SP, but about the process and how it wasn't happening for me until a few days ago it clicked after I started watching you. It's your entire belief system. If you are telling yourself it doesn't work and you don't know how it works and I never see movement, you're focused on there being no movement and you're going to get more proof of that. It's literally that simple. It's the same with signs. People come to me, I constantly get birds, but never my manifestation. Yeah, because you're focused on signs. You're bitching, whining, moaning, complaining about there being no movement and there being no only signs. So it's a perfect manifestation. The law is always working perfectly. The problem is always you. And I know, depending on where you are in your journey, you probably don't want to fucking hear that, but it's the truth. And once you see it for what it is, you can do something about it. Do you have any advice for manifesting on a time crunch? Because that types are very anxious inducing. In my opinion, in my experience, if you do not need something on a time crunch, meaning I need this to happen by Monday, or I need this to happen by this date, like a bill needs to be paid or some kind of shit like that, where it's like time crunch. Hi again. If you don't have to have it by a specific time, I do not recommend, from my experience, putting shit on a time crunch. Especially if it's anxiety inducing. You are choosing to do something that's anxiety inducing. In my experience, that means you don't believe it's going to happen, you don't think you can do it, and you are putting the manifestation level up to 11 for no fucking reason. And more than likely, it's not going to work for you because you're too worried about it not working. Can you, as somebody newer to manifesting, manifest on a time crunch? Absolutely you can. It's the same as anything else. You tell yourself you have it and you aren't worried about not getting it when you want it by. But for me, what I was doing was I was like, I'm fucking sick of not seeing movement and I'm a master manifester, so I'm going to get it by this date, or manifesting isn't real. Made my life a living hell and nothing ever changed. I wonder why. But manifesting on a time crunch is the same as anything else. When you have that thing coming up on that date, yeah, it's taken care of. I don't have to worry about it. Yep, no, it's taken care of. Nope, it's taken care of. You don't worry about it getting taken care of because you're assuming it's done. It got taken care of. It's government related, so it has to be on a time crunch in a way not super strict, but with time, but I definitely need it done before the 1st of April in a way. Then it's done. In your mind, you do not get to think about how it may not happen, or what if it doesn't happen, or this problem came up. No, it happened. I got what I needed. It's taken care of. There's nothing to be anxious about because it's taken care of. I always remind myself that when is now and the how is not my job. Yep, exactly. Jackson, what are you doing? Come here. Uh-oh, are people cooking? I may have to let him downstairs because there's kitchen things happening. But yeah, I love that. I always remind myself that the when is now and the how is not my job. Especially with anything that is like time sensitive. It's done. It's going to get taken care of somehow. I did that too. I tried manifesting on a time crunch on initial days. God, was I suffering and how? Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. It never worked. And I didn't believe it was going to. But then I had things like, I needed things done on a specific date or wanted a specific outcome of things that had a date. And I just started telling myself, yeah, no, I don't have to, that's not a thing. I don't have to worry about it. And I started to see, oh, I can do that. And then it's like, yeah, I personally don't prefer to manifest on a time crunch. If I need to, I can do it. And I know I can do it. If I need something by a certain date, like, it's going to be done. But I personally don't choose to manifest on a time crunch. Hell yes, it is definitely done. Yeah. Also, from my experience, I have manifested something government related, started literally in the past as if I stayed strong with my affirmations and I got the news that it happened, but the news came out 4 days before I even started affirming for it. See? You just tell yourself that things are the way you want them to be. It's literally that simple. What about the feeling it real? When Neville was talking about feeling it real, he wasn't talking about your emotions. He was talking about in your imagination. Feel it real as if you are really there in your imagination. I always go to him talking about getting out of the military. He would go to sleep, having been drafted to fight in World War II, in his cot in Louisiana, imagining he was in New York. It was real to him in his imagination. That's why you repeat your visualizations, according to Neville, as you're falling asleep at night. Because the more you repeat it and the more you're in that drowsy state, the more it becomes like a lucid dream and it feels real to you. Do you have to feel it real? No. I've had plenty of shit that I was extremely anxious through and didn't think was going to happen, but I just kept telling myself would fucking happen and it just kept coming back to, it's going to happen. Nope, it's going to happen. It's going to fucking happen the way I decided it's going to, and then it did. I just focus on my mindset. I don't give a shit how I feel. But that's what Neville was actually teaching when he was saying, feel it real. It is real. If you are imagining climbing up and down the ladder, you're going to climb the ladder. If you're imagining getting out of the military and going home to New York, that is what is going to happen regardless of what you're seeing in front of your face. That's what Abdullah was teaching Neville. You are in Barbados. If you are in Barbados, you aren't worried about how you got there. Walk down the street as if you are in Barbados. You are in Barbados. No more bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining. Even though I know about manifestation, but that took me by surprise, like, gosh, wow. We are very powerful. Today I posted something on my Instagram. I wanted my SP to like it. I instantly affirmed for it a bit. Affirmed for it, but then I was like, fuck this. Excuse me, he's my boyfriend. He's gonna be my boyfriend even if he doesn't like it. Laugh out loud. I feel so relaxed and liberated and can't really thank you enough for it. Oh, you're welcome, Anna. Yeah, and especially the SP stuff. Are you, you now are in the happy relationship. Are you seriously going to spend your time being like, oh my God, he's not liking my shit on Instagram? Does it truly matter? And if it does, you can manifest it. I have found the more that I do this, the more I trust it, the more I see how it works. I just don't give a fuck anymore. It's like, as long as things are good and I'm happy, I don't feel that I need to control the rest. For me, coming from my law of attraction experience, I need to prove to myself that I can think this and it will happen the way that I'm imagining it to happen, right? And not so much like every detail, but I want this outcome and I'm going to get it. I need this to happen and it's going to happen. I needed that to prove to myself that it works and that I could do it. But now I'm just like, all I've ever really wanted is to be happy. I've spent years trying to get clear on what I want my future life to look like, and I'm fucking tired of figuring it out. So isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. And I hate the term, like, what is it? Let go and let God. But that's kind of where I am in life now. Just I don't want to figure it out. I trust that it's going to be good. That's exactly how I thought. Why'd I even worry about all these little things? Yep. And I found myself doing that too. I got to a point where I was trying to like micromanage everything. It's like, yeah, I can, but do I want to? Is this good for my, mental health and my existence? And it's like, absolutely not. I'm going nuts here. And I had done Isn't It Wonderful? Everything's Perfect before. And it worked. So like, why not go back to what works and make it easy? Law of attraction. Yes. Yeah, that emoji right there. I agree. Hi, love your work. Oh, thank you. Things have been unfolding so naturally. Have already happened so naturally. I'm at the stage where I'm even questioning myself if I really did it. That's where you have to realize that you've always been doing it. Yes, you did it. If you don't decide that you're doing it and you are that powerful, you're always going to question it, and this is always going to be a problem. Because I did that too. I was manifesting all kinds of crazy shit. I was manifesting things and being like, if this thing actually manifests, then I know manifesting is real and I believe in it. And that shit would manifest perfectly. And then, like, 2 days later, I don't think I believe in this. This can't be real. I can't possibly be doing it. It was a coincidence. It's like, no, you don't believe in coincidences. If you either believe in coincidence or you don't. And I don't. I don't think anything is a fucking coincidence. That is all a choice of how you choose to view the world. And as long as you're going to choose, I'm probably not that powerful, it would have happened anyway. You're going to struggle with the whole, like, fully grasping manifesting because you're choosing not to fully believe in it. Exactly. Mental health is definitely very important to consider at times. I agree. Yeah, before I affirmed a lot for text for my SP, but I reflected and I reflected and I didn't want text. Any man can send me a text. What I really want is a beautiful relationship. Texts don't mean anything. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Again, I feel like when you're first finding this and you're like, yeah, right, you do have to prove it to yourself. And the easiest way to prove it to yourself is with shit you don't care about. And then you're going to go through the, oh, well, I can manifest text, so I should be doing that. And I feel like it's kind of you controlling the how in some cases. Now, if you really don't feel like this person would ever text you, manifesting a text may be the step that gets you to go, yeah, no, I could go for a relationship. But I am not for micromanaging. It just is not. It's just not. I also started dis Dissecus? I have no idea what that even is or how to pronounce it. I have no idea what that is, Anna. I always caught myself doing that and putting everything up as coincidence. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's where you start to really grasp whatever you tell yourself is true is true. If you say it was a coincidence and it probably wouldn't happen again, you're going to be proven right. Proving that the law is always working. I feel like we're all on our own journey to realizing that, but like, that's what you're doing. Anna's having problems with her keyboard. Sometimes we get stressed over little details that aren't even that important. I agree with that so much. And I feel like part of it is you trying to control the how, right? Because that's, for me, that's how I was raised, controlling the how, right? You have to do things to get things, and when you're like, I'm just going to tell myself that I have what I want, it's hard not to control the details, but the more that you do it, it gets easier to trust that you can just be like, yeah, I have it. And the more you do, like, shift the states where it's like old stuff just isn't, it's just not a thing anymore. Hi, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you too. And thank you for watching me. I love that people enjoy my craziness. That's why I never say about something that it's rare. Yep. Like it's out of reach. Exactly. Yep. I think it was Naya. She's like, she'll tell herself, I'm the exception to the rule. I really like that one. Oh, but this is how it all. No, well, I don't give a shit if it's like that for everyone else. I'm the exception. Why? Because I said so. Laugh out loud. I have a goal that I want a big bum, but everyone keeps saying that since I'm vegetarian, vegan, and 5'9", it'll be so difficult to get one, and sometimes I fall into their beliefs. That's you giving your power away. You either can believe them and not have what you want, or just tell yourself that you have what you want. It literally comes down to that simple. You're looking for all the reasons that you can't have what you want, and being like, yep, they're right. I'm a victim in my own fucking reality. I don't get to have what I want. For me, what helps me is regulating the nervous system. It helps me get back to the state of it's done. Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was never, no one was talking about that when I was going through figuring out how to kind of regulate my nervous system. And oh, yeah, figuring out how to get your body out of fight or flight and all the stress and the anxiety, it makes it a lot easier to focus. I am rare. Exactly, you are. No one else or nothing else will ever have the experience that you are having. Like, think about that. Hi, came here from TikTok. Glad to see you. I'm glad to see you too. I know, I gotta get off of TikTok. So anybody who wants to come hang out, I'll be over on YouTube. So welcome. Oh my God, can you advise on regulating the nervous system? It'll be a huge help. Not really. All I can do is tell you to go on YouTube and start researching people who do things. Things that you can look into are like EFT, working with your vagus nerve, for me, Reiki. Thing that I ended up being called to was Wim Hof is another one, breath work. Breathing can help, learning different breathing techniques. For me, I had to go to acupuncture. Like, that's what I was led to. If you tell yourself, I have a regulated nervous system, you're going to be led to the answer that's going to regulate your nervous system. I love to imagine myself at night with my SP, and my affirmation is, I'm my SP's wife, helps me to feel that we are together now. Yep. Exactly. That's all you're doing, is focusing on having what you want. Oh, from whatever I read from your comment, is your focus more on negative than what you want? Stop complaining and think in your favor. That's all it comes down to, literally. Since I am new to everything here, it's a tad difficult to figure out, but I'm still trying my best. The only thing you need to do is tell yourself that things are the way you want them to be, and not bitch, whine, moan, and complain. If you go on YouTube and search regulating your nervous system, I am positive, because that was a huge trend not too long ago. Everyone was making videos about it. Have you heard of reality shifting? You're shifting realities all the time. It's what quantum physics is teaching you. It's what they're starting to see in quantum physics. All possibilities exist. Everything is possible. Whatever you are telling yourself is true, and you are shifting into that experience because all realities exist right now. You're not creating anything, you're shifting into the experience of what you're telling yourself is true. Also, I find your name super pretty. Oh, thank you. It's my grandmother's name. Stop affirming that it's difficult to figure out. It's not, it's easy. That exactly. I know exactly what I'm doing. This is so easy for me. As long as you're focused on that you don't know how to do it and that it's hard and it's not working, you're going to be proven fucking right. Every time. With everything. With everything. My biggest advice for people who are newer to this is to practice with shit you don't care about. That's why I put create your manifestation lifestyle on here. It's kind of like a process to start manifesting some shit you don't care about. That first part. Pick something you don't care about. Okay, tell yourself you're going to see a specific breed of dog. That's what I chose as the thing. And do it until it happens. And then you're like, oh my God, I manifested seeing the thing I was telling myself. If you can manifest seeing a specific breed of dog, you can manifest literally anything. You've been manifesting your whole life. Your entire life up to this point is a manifestation. Everything is based on what you believe is true and have accepted as true. Start questioning your beliefs and shifting your focus, and things have to prove you right. What do you do when you're bored? Sometimes I find myself waiting for my manifestation to happen because I'm bored with my current 3D. I couldn't tell you the last time I was bored. I always have shit to do. If you don't have anything to do and all you're doing all day is sulking in how you don't have your manifestation, you're probably never going to get it because you're focused on how you hate your 3D and that you're so bored and that nothing good could ever happen to you. You need to find some hobbies. You need to find something to keep yourself entertained. Have you ever had a manifestation come after years? Manifestations that take a long time, you will start to see that the reason they haven't come in the time frame that you thought was correct was because of your mindset. Your mindset was not as good as you thought that it was. I have given up giving a fuck on how long anything takes, and if it takes me years to get my shit, I don't fucking care because I'm going to get it. I don't even remember when I start affirming for shit anymore. But I know that it's faster and faster as I go along because I have my brain under control. And my default mindset is what I used to be affirming when I first started using affirmations. And just because something takes me years doesn't mean shit. If you're afraid of something taking you years, it's because you don't actually think you're going to fucking get it. You can't just tell yourself you have it. And you're creating the time that it's going to take for you to get your shit. Time is an illusion. I was just thinking that. Exactly. You have it now. In your imagination, you have it now. And that's the other thing. If you're bored with your current 3D, be imagining having what you want. All you have is an eternal now. Whatever you tell yourself now is true. The more you tell yourself that things are the way you want them to be, the faster you are going to have that physical experience. The more you bitch, whine, moan, and complain, you're manifesting perfectly. The law is always perfect. The problem is always you. Always. I love Delululand. Yeah, I just posted a video about manifesting being delusional. I don't really like that terminology. People don't understand what people mean when they're saying that. You are not delusional by telling yourself that you are going to have what you want. You're making a choice on what you're going to put your focus on because all outcomes are equally possible. It's the is this the guy's name Schrodinger? Something like that? The cat? If you put a cat in a box with poison and food, is the cat dead or alive? The cat is both dead and alive because you don't know if the cat is dead or alive, but both possibilities exist simultaneously. So which one are you going to focus on, that the cat is dead or the cat is alive? Exactly, I wonder about this. It takes too much of time now. Look at me, a year. Not anymore though. Yeah, stop. If you are focused on time, you are not focused on just having what you want, which is creating more time that you don't have what you want because you're not telling yourself that you have it now. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm starting to have a lot of interest in tarot, and I'm reading a lot about the origins of tarot and magic. There you go. Do what you want to do. So I believe in my manifestation, but I barely repeat the affirmation. If you believe your manifestation, then you are not bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining that you don't have it. So you're either telling yourself that you have it, affirming, or you're bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining. If you don't have it and you're looking at the time and I don't have it, if you're looking at the time, that means you don't have it and you're bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining, and you're manifesting that perfectly. Do you have to constantly be saying your one affirmation? No, but every time you think of your manifestation and whatever it is, and you're telling yourself that you don't have it or you would never get it, you cannot continue to think that because it's perfectly manifesting. Yes, I agree. Two options exist. Techniques don't manifest. It's just to help us be aware of what we have, be aware that we have it now. Exactly fucking that, Yara. Exactly that. It is not that you are affirming that's going to manifest your shit. The affirmations are just thoughts, the thoughts that you would have if you had what you want. What you focus on is your experience. So you're going to stop telling yourself that you are not having the experience that you want. You're going to tell yourself that you are having the experience that you do want, and that is what manifests. So basically, you're in the state of having what you want or not having what you want. Exactly. You can live from the end of not getting what you want, which is you manifesting perfectly, or you can live from the end of getting exactly what you want, which is also manifesting perfectly. Everything, good or bad, is a manifestation. Everything is what you tell yourself that it is. It's all created by you, and what you are telling yourself is your experience. You're always fucking right. Always. My SP would never want me because I'm not smart enough. You're right. And they're going to prove that right to you. My SP loves and adores me, and we're so happy together. You're right, and you have to be proven right. Sometimes I'm telling myself that my SP loves me more than I even though ever thought possible. It is hard for me to believe that we are together in the moment. You just keep telling yourself that that's what's true. You're not going to believe it. I have never believed a single fucking thing I started affirming. I just chose to think that instead of other shit. Oh no, you're good. I'm just like, I'm losing words. But yeah, you're not going to believe it. You just keep telling yourself that. Hi Sonia, greetings from Germany. Hello. I'm focused on time too. How longer it takes. More doubting. How can I stop waiting? You tell yourself you have it now. When you want to bitch, whine, moan, and complain about it's taking too long. Where is it? No, I have it now. 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 It's mine now. I have it now. It's mine now. I have it now. It's mine now. There's no waiting. You live in an eternal now. You either have it or you don't. If you're waiting for it to happen, you're always going to be waiting, which is the choice that you are making and is a perfect manifestation. What if I try manifesting flying powers? I don't even want to speak on that. I love your sincerity. You have no idea how much it wakes me up to life, laugh out loud. And it's because that's what I needed. I needed someone to just stop with the bullshit. Stop with the bullshit and speak to me. Not as a child. I don't feel that people coming to this who, aren't understanding it, I don't feel like you guys are children, but it's like when you don't understand, you don't understand. And you need to be spoken to in a way that helps you in plain English, words that are easy to understand. And for me, sugarcoating and bullshit just, it didn't get me anywhere. Just, I had to piece it all together from so many people. And I go, they're speaking from their experience, but my experience is you can teach shit in a simple way that doesn't make people feel stupid and helps them wake the fuck up. Feels better anyway. I'm sick of complaining. It's exhausting. Yep. I feel like the worst habit we have is bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining. Want my parents to accept my SP even after affirming they are not accepting him at all and are very furious. In India, we need their acceptance. Well, you're focused on that they don't accept him. Yeah, you affirmed a few times. The affirmations are never going to be what manifests. Your belief system manifests. You believe that they would never approve and that they have to approve in order for you to be together. So why do you feel that way? What's the true root of all of this? It has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with your SP. It has to do with you and your beliefs about all of this and all of them. Look at where it's coming from and shift it. They approve. I don't give a fuck how not that is your experience right now. They approve. They change their mind. You're deciding that they're not going to change their mind and affirmations don't work, and you're going to be proven right. I had this ex-best friend who used to be very negative and got the worst experiences with everyone. Was she a manifestation of my thoughts or hers? Everyone is having their own experience, and you are experiencing the version of them that you think that they are. They are who you think they are. So they're the most negative person with the most negative experiences. That is your experience of that person. And their experience is whatever they believe is true. So they may have thought they were the luckiest person with the best experiences. You guys really need to stop worrying about everybody else's experience and focus on your own. Because I'm just going to be honest. You guys can't even control your own experience and you're so worried about everyone else's. Exactly like the coach I spoke to who was telling you to let your mind think whatever you want to think. I listened to them and I manifested this SP situation with 3P. It's just your thoughts, literally. Whatever you tell yourself is true and has to be proven to you to be true. If you are focused on continuously looking at the 3D for feedback of is it working, you're not telling yourself that it worked and that it's working and it's perfectly manifesting. Affirm, imagine the end result you want. Yes, exactly. It's better to listen to the truth, even if it hurts, than to be hurt by the illusion. That's how I feel too. I know I come on here as harsh sometimes, but I am coming from a place of love of please fucking see what you are doing. Because the sooner I know from experience, the sooner you see it, the sooner it clicks for you, the sooner your entire reality is going to start shifting around you. Because you get what you're supposed to be fucking doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time you give us. I will take what you said. Oh, you're welcome. Your parents, you are happy with your SP. If you guys are wanting to be married, you're happily married. Which means your parents approve. This is the only reason that these circumstances are a problem is because you're giving them all your attention. Which is you giving your power to your circumstances, and your circumstances don't matter. They can change like that. But you've decided that they can't. And it's manifesting perfectly. Hi, I've been ignoring the 3D and focusing on the thing. I'm revising. I think I'm in a better state now. Yay, nice. What is happening over there? Now you're talking? I started this live so you could sit with me, and you sat with me for 5 seconds. Excuse me, can we revise, shift a timeline? We can revise, shift a timeline, but we don't want to stay stuck there in the unwanted. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So whenever you have a negative thought, just continuously repeat your affirmation, even if you don't believe it and don't know when it will come. Yes. It's true right now. We live in an eternal now. You can bitch, whine, moan, and complain, or you can tell yourself you have what you want. The choice is yours, and you will always be proven right. Manifestation clicked for me a lot when I realized that thoughts manifest, and if my mind is a mess, then my 3D will be a mess too. Yep. Yeah. That was when it started to click for me too. I was like, oh. Now all this shit from my law of attraction days that never made any fucking sense is starting to make some sense, because it's like, oh, that. And it hit me like a sack of bricks too. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. And I still didn't fully grasp it when it started to click, but like once it started to click, like I always say, once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can't, I can't go back to thinking the way that I used to. It would take so much work for me to go back to having my old shitty mindset. Why? I never for once ever thought about 3P, and somehow I manifested a 3P, not just a 3P, and full fucking marriage. Initially, I was beating myself up. How did I manifest this? How did this happen? It's not that you were specifically thinking there with the 3P, there with the 3P, there with the 3P, there with the 3P. You were telling yourself that they were going to choose somebody else, that they wouldn't choose you, that they don't want to be with you. It was some shit like that. It's your entire belief system that manifests. Pick 1 to 2 affirmations and loop them in your head. It's going to help to block all the negative shit in the head, train your brain. I agree. Until I dropped it, it doesn't matter how or why. I have it now, and that's enough. Exactly. And if you are up for taking a true look at what you were telling yourself, you will see where it was coming from. Or you can just drop it and not give a shit. It's up to you. This is a journey about you learning about you. If you don't want to learn about you, then I can't help you. %, true. Whatever I start being insecure about something, someone out of nowhere starts talking about my insecurities as well. Yeah. And the way that happens, you can manifest anything. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't necessarily think about 3P, but I thought that I wasn't enough and not the best option, and thought a lot about it, and it even manifested so quickly. And it could be manifested away just as quickly. The more you just focus on thinking the thoughts that you want instead of anything else, the faster shit will change. You're doing it anyway. You're not learning how to manifest. You're learning to put your focus where you want it to be. You're learning to stop looking at the 3D and allowing your through knee-jerk reaction thoughts to be what you accept as true. The 3D is neutral. The 3D is just happening. You're the one labeling the 3D based off of your past Or you can be like, yeah, I don't accept that anymore, and this is what's now true. And when you start doing that, your brain's going to throw up all the reasons why what you now want isn't true, and you're going to keep looking outside of you because that's how you've been trained to live your life, which is wrong. The way you do it is internally to out externally. And the more you do it and the more you see it, you can't unsee it, and the better you get at it. Yeah, I totally agree. Oh, I already read that one. But yeah. Are you really that angry? Really? Exactly. When I start to think about insecurities and feel ugly, everyone starts to treat me as ugly too. It's all what you tell yourself that it is. This is why I say quite a bit, I'm tired of the word manifesting. You're not manifesting anything. You are experiencing what you're telling yourself is true. I remember when I used to believe there was something outside of me. Oh, yeah. There's something outside of me that I need to please, and it knows better than me. That was the part that I couldn't handle. And it stressed me out so much. Let the universe decide if it's meant for you. It's all about confidence. What you think about yourself is true. Exactly. Just like everything else. The way you think about yourself is going to be true. The way you think about other people is going to be true. You're always right. Wasn't about him choosing me. I didn't feel enough, which again, I didn't think much, but it was an old programming that you were functioning from, and that was your belief system, and you had to be proven right. And now you know that's bullshit, and you know how to fix it. You know how to shift it. It's not even fixing it, it's about making a different choice. I think that was the thing that stressed me out, like thinking I had to convince something outside of me to get what I want. Oh, yeah. Do you believe in aliens? That's none of your business. Can we manifest financial abundance for others? You can manifest anything you want for others. You see them as the person you want them to be. They have the money you want them to have. And you let the rest go. These negative situations that manifested in the last few weeks have made me realize a lot that thoughts manifest. See, it wasn't a bad experience, it was a learning experience. Now that you know better, you can do better. That simple. But that helped me to be more optimistic because now I know that if I control my thoughts, I control the outcome too. Yep. I agree with that. Hi. I agree with that. And it just takes noticing it and doing it and being open to you've always been manifesting and starting to see the connection between your old thought patterns and things that happened in the past. And do you believe that there's good and bad, or do you believe that there's only objective good and bad? I think you need to ask yourself this shit. My opinion doesn't mean shit in your reality. Why does my opinion matter so much to you? I think I also felt like it was too good to be true to believe I can have anything. Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah. That whole too good to be true. The other shoe's about to drop. It can't just get better, better, and better. Yeah. I hear you. Your live streams are so addicting. Thank you for being so authentic and passionate. Oh, you're welcome. I just come on here being myself and speaking the way I wish somebody would have just told me shit worked. And I really need you guys to understand that this is a journey about you learning about you. I can tell you my opinion and my experience and my belief system, but that doesn't mean shit in your reality. If you would start asking yourself the questions you want to start asking everyone else, you would learn a lot more about yourself and what you currently believe and where you want your belief system to go. You decide what to think, so think only what makes you feel good. Ignore the 3D, it's a hologram anyway. Yep. Yep. I just look at the 3D as, oh, this is me getting what I want. It doesn't have to make logical sense to me. I'm getting what I want. Why? Because that's what I'm deciding is happening. Because I know whatever I tell myself is true is true. And the only wrong answer is the one that makes you feel like shit that you keep repeating to yourself. I think a lot of people need to stop putting coaches on pedestals. Oh, fuck yes. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I get that all the fucking time. Like, oh, Sonia's just this like unattainable perfection manifester. It's like, I had somebody ask me, and I recorded a video. I don't know when it'll be out, but they were like, did you ever have times when you started where you were wavering a lot and weren't able to persist or some shit like that? And I'm like, I still have times where that's a fucking thing. Just because I know what to do doesn't mean that my brain doesn't still think, and things will, like, I'll get caught up in things and be like, where the fuck did this come from? It happens less and less because I know how to deal with it, and it's not a big deal anymore. And the only reason I'm at this point is because I kept doing the shit that I'm telling you to do. You can get here too. I'm not special. I just have practiced a skill and got really good at it. It's like going to a guitar teacher and being like, oh my God, I'll never be as good as this guitar teacher who's played for 40 years. It's like, yeah, you will in 40 years if you keep playing. It's a skill. You fucking get better at it. And start trusting and believing in themselves. Yes. That's why I always try, when I see it, I always throw it back at you guys. This is not about me. This is about you learning about you. Now that I realize how much I was into this victim state mentality of why is this not happening for me, I understand how often and consistently I was doing that. No wonder shit didn't change. That's what I'm saying. Whoever asked me earlier, has it ever taken you years to manifest something? When you look back, you weren't doing it right in the first place. And eventually you see it and you fix it. Yeah, in society, we've been taught to fear our negative thoughts that pop up, but that doesn't have to be the case at all. No. You just are like, yeah, that's the thing, and I don't want to think it anymore. But then some coaches, like my old one, like the idea that people put them on a pedestal and ask them questions. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They like their ego being stroked. Oh, look at all the attention I get. Oh, look at, it's like, I've never been on here for that reason. After I started watching Sonia, I learned from her to stop putting people on a pedestal, and there are some coaches who sugarcoat. There's also coaches that go from a very business model of their coaching of, I have to only tell people this much so that they'll give me money, and then I'll give them the rest, because how else will I make money? No. There's no like there's nothing I don't know how to sugarcoat it. I don't know how to gatekeep. I don't know how to do any of that. It's whatever you tell yourself is true is true. That's it. Sir, come here. Do you want to go downstairs? There's too much manifestation on content on here. I only stick to those that resonate. And that's my greatest advice for you guys. Find who resonates, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But use it for yourself, because that's where you're going to learn the most. Where I learned the most was using it in my life. Practicing with shit I don't care about. Seeing it work for me. And then applying that to other shit. Literally. What? Come here. Also, the consistent, it's not happening because I might be doing something wrong. Damn, the self-doubt was strong. Yeah? But now you see why it wasn't working. It was working perfectly. That's the whole thing. It's always working perfectly. That's why I say it's a you problem. And until you're ready to look at that for what it is, the law is always working perfectly. Start paying attention to what your thoughts are and where your thoughts have been, and you'll see it. One thing that made me so confused about my old coach said that you can manifest anything, and then I wanted to manifest something and she said you don't actually want that. I had that same fucking experience when I was in the law of attraction. I hate that it's law of attraction and law of assumption, because I always yeah, I had that too. You don't actually want that, or no, you can't have that, or everything's possible and you can have whatever you want, but not that. Jackson, come here. Do you gotta go downstairs, Bubba? With Sunny, I learned that there is no way you are doing something wrong unless you say you are doing something wrong. This freed me. Yep, it's all you. There's nothing outside of you deciding you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong because you're sitting here going, it's not working, so I must be doing something wrong, which makes you right, because you're always fucking right. Sir? Alright, guys, I am going to have to jump off here, so if you have any last quick questions... Jackson! Come here! High vibration is bullshit. Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree with that one more. I spent years trying to be in a high vibration, and my mental health suffered a lot because of it. I was a fucking disaster area. And being high vibration doesn't matter. How you feel, not that it like doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. If you're anxious and stressed, you can still manifest. If your emotions manifested and you got into a bad place, you would never be able to get yourself out of it, which is bullshit. And I am living proof of that, and I know plenty of other people who have done it too. I unfortunately had this thought, am I manifesting right? Well, and now you know the answers. Same anxiety, panic attacks, yep. I suffered with anxiety most of my life. Like, I remember going to therapy in my like mid-20s and being like, my therapist, how long have you been anxious? I'm like, as long as I can remember. Like, my parents sent me to therapy as a child to try to get my anxiety under control, and nothing helped. The thing that helped me was affirming, isn't it wonderful, everything's perfect, over and over and over and over again, and bringing myself back and bringing myself back and bringing myself back. And through that fucking affirmation is how I manifested myself into acupuncture. And ever since I started going to acupuncture and Chinese medicine stuff, that was my journey. That doesn't mean that that's the answer. Go do that and it'll work for me too. No, that was my experience. Yeah, there's no one outside judging your progress or deciding if you're worthy or if you can have what you want. Exactly. Exactly. Man, the thing that comes to mind is the Marvel movies. How Thor always has to check the fucking hammer. Am I still worthy? Am I still worthy? Am I still worthy? You gotta drop that shit. You're fucking worthy because you're the one deciding whether you're worthy or not. For me, writing is my therapy. See? You gotta find what works for you. For me, meditating. See? Two completely different answers that both work perfectly, and neither one of you is wrong or better than the other. Whatever works for you, and fucking run with it. There are no rules, there aren't none of that. Oh, you have to do it this way or it's not going to work. Are you telling yourself that you have what you want, or are you bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining? It's literally that simple. For me, just existing. I like to meditate too. See? Everyone is a unique individual. Exactly. And the more you embrace your unique individuality and allow yourself to be who you are, it's not one size fits all. Exactly. Exactly. It is not one size fits all. The more you're trying to make it one size fits all, and you're like, well, this coach said, and that coach said, and this coach said, and which one's right? They're all fucking right. Everyone's speaking from their experience, especially the ones who actually know what they're fucking talking about. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and create your own method, if you will, on how you do this and how you live your life. That's what it comes down to. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. It has been so fun hanging out with you. I love you all, and I will see you very soon. Love and light.